Hi, and welcome to the More Workspace Details for Fields training video for MappenMaven. In this video, we're going to focus on additional aspects of fields, including a couple more properties, adding fields, and deleting fields. Using the project from the Getting Started by Importing Project Data video, let's begin with the field properties not yet discussed. You get to a field's properties by clicking on the field, and we'll go to Product Category. Like sources, fields also have the original and display names and are initially set when importing the source individually or from an Excel spreadsheet for an entire project. As you can see, you are allowed to change display name, but not original name. When changing display name, you are not allowed to reuse existing field names within the source. You can repeat a field name that exists in a different source, though. If I go to the field product category in the source sales by customer, for example, and I try to change its name to sales, which already exists, I get notified a field with the name you entered already exists, and the name goes back to its value before I made the change. You'll notice that I am allowed to change the field to the same name of a field in a different source, such as order status, which lives in orders DW. In the meantime, I'd like to point out that, like the source, the field also has the property responsible party. This is used to identify the go-to person for any questions about this field. Be sure to check out the Finalized and Ignore Properties and Progress Stats video to find out more about additional key properties for fields. The properties not covered in videos are self-explanatory and/or are typical properties you would expect for a field in a tool like MappenMaven. Let's go on to adding a field. Let's add a field by clicking Add Field within any source. You'll just give the field a name and hit Enter or just leave the field. Notice if I create a new field and I try to use a field name that already exists within that source, I'll be warned accordingly and my new field will not be created. An added field works like any other field. It has the same properties, you can map to and from it, add an ETL rule, etc. Since MappenMaven treats fields the same way whether they were imported or added manually, if you can't remember if a field was part of the original import, you could use the created Datetime property to know which fields came in together and which were added later. For example, the imported fields all have the same timestamp, while the manually added one has a different one. Next, let's delete a field. You can delete any field as long as it is free from map lines and ETL rules. However, it is critical to know that when you delete a field, it is completely removed from MappenMaven. There is no undo. In order to get that field and its mappings and rules back in MappenMaven, you would need to import or manually add it and start from scratch for that field. Let's delete the new field we just added. We'll just right-click over the field and select Delete Field. If you try to delete a field with a map line or ETL rule, you'll receive a message accordingly. If you still want to delete the field, you would just manually remove the map lines and ETL rules, and then you could delete it. You will receive one of two confirmation messages. Here's the confirmation message when the field being deleted is in the browser. And here's the one for when the field being deleted has been saved to the database. And notice in either case, when you confirm, the field is gone. Remember, when you delete a field, it is gone and there is no undo. Keeping in mind that deleting a field is permanent, if you haven't already, be sure to add and delete some fields and to experiment with the field's properties. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Have a great day and happy mapping!